Hello and welcome to episode 37 of Legacy Gaming with Atari Man 71. I am currently playing through my Atari 2600 cartridge collection, which has over 450 games, about 375 of which are unique. Right now I'm working on the Atari published games. I'm coming up on the end of it. This is the final week of it. If you like videos like this, please like, please subscribe. Please follow me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Please give it a thumbs up because I put the videos on YouTube and I put chapters on all the videos so that you can skip forward to the games you want because I know not everyone wants to see every game. Tonight we have 3 games from the higher levels, the later years of the Atari 2600. We have Sprintmaster, Double Dunk, and Fatal Run. I'm going to say this is going to be an interesting evening. I had some time to practice these. I've really never played them before now, and they're difficult. Double Dunk especially, and then I watched some YouTube videos where other people were experiencing similar difficulties with Double Dunk, at least. Fatal Run was only released in Europe, so it's only available in PAL. I have a PAL cartridge, but I put it on my Uno cart so we can play it there. But I was having difficulties with the audio on the Uno cart and some other things, and I'll get into that when I start playing that game. So first on the list tonight is Sprintmaster, and you can see the game here, the cartridge here. Put that in. Turn on the USB video capture card. Yeah, turn the game on. Oh, it's pretty quiet. I don't know if that's just my headphones. It seems to be loud enough. Maybe the volume on my headphones is turned very low. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So I'm gonna power it off and power it back on just to see. Yeah, that got a little louder. Interesting. Okay. So here we see the Sprintmaster title screen. I'm going to call up my notes now. Pardon me. I have so much junk on my desk here. It's just getting in the way of actually playing the game. It's actually a giant 32-inch television that I have like probably half of which designated to my streams, the actual stream screen. So the information I have for Sprintmaster. This is cartridge CX26155. It was released in 1988 and it uses the joystick controller. I'm using my Wiko command controller for better or for worse tonight. Oh, I just started the game, I think. Let me mute this because it's got so much noise. Going back to my notes. So, as with most of these red label games, we did not have this when I was younger. This is the first time I played it seriously, and it basically was for practice for this stream. It's this game, in in my opinion, it's like they took Indy 500 and ported it to use the joystick instead of the driving controllers. And the controls are pretty awkward. And I noticed online that there was a ROM that uses the driving controllers instead. I downloaded it, but I never played it. But I would actually prefer the driving controllers, I think, because it is really difficult to steer with the joystick. And I was never good with RC vehicles. They did upgrade from Indy 500 in that there are different track surfaces. There were in Indy 500. There was ice and then there was regular. But in this, it's blacktop, dirt, and ice. And they also have multiple tracks. Some of them have tunnels. Some of them have jumps. So it's a little different than Indy 500. A little bit better. Maybe not much. You know, it is what it is. Oversteering is really a problem for me with the joystick, and I practiced this for more than 150 laps, and I still couldn't perfect steering. It's a real light touch to get around a corner, and I only did the oval track basically. I never got into the more advanced tracks because I couldn't steer. It's overly difficult. VGR ratings for this game: the graphics were rated 3, which is decent, and the playability was rated 4 for fun. I found it 1 for frustrating, or I don't know. It really was kind of frustrating for me because I'm so used to Indy 500, and you know, I probably, if you were playing it and played it a lot, you would get good at the steering. But you know, I don't see anybody putting in that kind of effort now. When I was a kid, I would have sat myself in front of a television for days trying to figure out how to steer this thing and practicing until I got it right. But now, I don't have that kind of time to waste, and then also, to what end? I'm not playing anybody in the game or anything like that. When we were kids, we would do that because we wanted to beat our best friends at the game. So here we see one of the advanced tracks. So I'm going to reset. Here, I'm just going to turn power, turn the sound back. Turn it down just a little bit. Okay, that was the track I want. So you can do bounce or crash. So bounce, when you hit something, you just bounce off. Crash, you crash, and it resets your car. But it resets your car in a bad position. Number of laps, 4. I'll go up to 10. You'll see me get lapped probably about 9 or 10 times in this game. Just prepping everything. So now we go blacktop, dirt, or ice. Dirt seems to have the best contrast. Well, ice does too. I'm gonna do blacktop since I know that was what I practiced with. I know it's a little dark. I apologize. See, I'm running the wrong direction already. Oh, and you can't back up. That's the other thing. Or you can. I've never done it. Well, first for everything. And then he's lapping me 100 times while I'm stuck in this grass. So the blue stuff is traction. And it may be comical watching me play, but I will promise you it's not that easy. With a driving controller, at least. And the grass is very slow, and then you get off the grass. You're holding the joystick. And no doy, he wins. I was able to be a winner when I practiced, when I played 2-player version. And that was what I played to practice. I think it's a little less distracting when you're not racing somebody. Like right now, you see I'm steering a little better. Maybe a little better. And coincidentally, I've discovered that the maximum amount of time you can get on there is 9 minutes 59.99 seconds, or 0.9 seconds. And you'll see most of my problem is I'm oversteering. So I finished eventually. So I was player 1. I took twice as long as him to complete these. Well, it's unfortunate. So I'm going to reset this and we'll just watch him run. He runs a perfect route every time. Doesn't make mistakes in oversteering. Doesn't vary from his designated path. And so I've seen people win this. I've seen people beat this computer. It's not going super fast, but it doesn't make a mistake. So your only hope to win is to drive really well on the inside portion of the track so that you can cut them off. Gain some extra speed when you can, because he doesn't gain any of the bonuses, but he doesn't make any mistakes, so he doesn't need any of the bonuses. And let's see what his time is again. I should have noted his time, because I bet you it's the same regardless. And there's no version of this where that car is not on the road. It's either player 2, yeah, 110.04, or 110.4, minute 10.4 seconds, which I think is similar to the last one. Maybe I hit him a couple times and slowed him down. I don't know, but let's go to 2 players. Bounce. I'm gonna cut the laps down. 2 laps. Which track? That one's just a regular. So this one has a jump in it. This one has a tunnel in it. This is a figure 8. I wonder if you can just cheat and ignore the top part of the map. This one has 2 tunnels. That one's fancy. That one's looks terrible. This one has a tunnel and a shortcut. Okay. And this one has shortcuts that open and close. Let's try this one. We'll try it in dirt. So I don't have another joystick hooked up. Ooh, you can't go through those when... Wow. Oh my goodness. This is probably exciting as watching paint dry. Woo, I made it. I don't have a joystick hooked up, and that's what my game does. I'm terrible. Minute 10 to do 2 laps. You remember that other practice run? The guy did 10 laps in a minute. What is it, 04 or something like that? I don't remember. Sorry, I got something in my eye right now. So 2 players, because I refuse to get beat by the computer again. I'll show you crash. I'll stick with 2 laps. Let's do that one that has the jump. I'll show you the jump. And we'll go on dirt again. Steered too early. Ooh. Those blue things, I think, are a rumble strip. So how slowly can we go across this? It's interesting that it doesn't crash you. I knew I was going to crash there. I still got that speed boost.
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
So that's that game. Maybe I'll get one more. I'll put it back to bounce. 2 laps. What track? That was boring. Let's see if I can bypass the upper level and just do the bottom level. Oh, that's a skid. You see me skid? Wow, I just flew halfway across the screen. Yeah. Nope. Didn't count. Oversteering is my enemy. So that may have just counted as 1 lap. All of that nonsense that I just did. Oh. It's like I said, it's like driving an RC car. Wow. But RC cars nowadays have a steering wheel, so that's the second one. So that's pretty much the game. It's for me, it's frustrating because I don't have the fine motor skills, and these joysticks are big, and I'm using a bigger joystick than even normal. I think people with fine motor skills, maybe in a D-pad, do better. I know I used to love RC Pro-Am, but that's a side scroller. That's not like this. These top scrollers, it's difficult because, even though right is always right and left is always left, when you're heading away, it's different than when you're heading toward you. And that's the thing. That's the thing, at least with remote control planes and remote control cars and stuff like that, that I find difficult. When something's coming toward you, it is more difficult than if you have a POV situation where left is always left and right is always right. And so I struggle with these kind of games. Overall, I'd say this game is mediocre. It's not something you should run out and get unless you really like Indy 500. This game is just disappointing. So the next game on my list is probably the hardest game of tonight. It's Double Dunk. It's a basketball game. And it's got a great little theme song. I will give it that. You know, it's got some music, it's got a theme song. This is something else for an Atari 2600 game. A lot more like a Nintendo's Entertainment System game or something like that. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to mute it because it keeps playing. You know, the graphics here are really good. You know, there's multicolored, there's the flashing dunk word, there's the dancing players, there's the theme song. It's next level for an Atari 2600 game. So in my notes on this game, it is cartridge CX26159. So we skipped 4 numbers here. I don't think we skipped any games though, but we skipped 4 numbers. The VGR ratings. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This uses the joystick, and although this game came out in basically my prime basketball watching days when I was really addicted to the NBA, I did not have it. You know, I'd grown past my 2600, and it had probably broken at this point. I mean, 89 is pretty late, and I don't recall having it in high school, and this was my junior year in high school. Excuse me. And I remember playing Double Dribble in for the NES, and that game was a lot more playable than this game. The first time I tried to play it in practice, I did not even actually successfully launch the game. It's even so complicated just to do that. The second time practicing, I was actually able to figure it out after I read through the instructions. It's cool that you can turn features on and off in the game, in addition to selecting, you know, time for the quarters or a point limit for the game. But I do feel like the game is overly complex due to the fact that you have to select a play prior to putting the ball in bounds. And, you know, that may be similar to real basketball, but it, it was kind of frustrating. The other thing about this game that's really easy to do is to step out of bounds. So if you're under the basket and you get a rebound, it's real easy to just step out of bounds. And, you know, you don't even realize you're pushing up, because I think it's kind of a natural thing when you're, you know, trying to get to the basket. You know, you grab the rebound, and maybe it's just that I don't have the eyesight that I used to have, but it's difficult to tell who has the ball sometimes, especially when the lane gets crowded with 4 players. And then they steal real easily. You know, I've seen others play this game, and the computer just wipes the board with them. Like, no matter what play you pick, they just wipe the board. And then that gets me to the next thing. So you call a play, and then sometimes you have to push the button 5 times to make the play work. You know, it just doesn't, you pick the play, and the player you don't control does his motions. Now you have to push the button to make the player 2 do his motions, like there's a screen roll or a give and go. So you have to push the button so that player 2 moves into position. Then you have to push the button to pass the ball to player 2 in the give and go. Then you have to push the button again to pass the ball back to yourself, player 1, or you know what I mean. And then you have to push the button to jump to shoot, and then you have to push the button to let go of the ball to shoot. It's a lot of button presses, and it's a lot to keep track of. And again, with this game, I think maybe if you have a lot of time to play it, it probably could develop into a pretty fun game to play. But unfortunately, this game came too late in Atari 2600's life. If it had been released 3 years, maybe 5 years earlier, really, it would be groundbreaking. And, you know, I think the thing that happened was, you know, people didn't know how to write programs like this. And then once they were able to, I think, you know, people that were programming for the 2600 were like, well, this is what I know how to do, so let me make this game for the 2600, because they were marketing 2600 games for the 7800, but people wanted to see the graphics. I mean, that was the real showstopper back then. It was like, oh, like, even like, I think back to when NES came out or PlayStation came out. You look at a PlayStation game now, and it's just like cartoony. But at the time, we were like, oh, these graphics look so real. And that's because we were used to playing these games when we were younger. And so it was what people were looking at: better graphics, better graphics, better graphics. And I feel like the PC actually eclipsed home console gaming at about this moment in time, around 1990, when the internet was really starting to become available, and online gaming. There were some games that I had as early as 91 where I could call someone else's house and we could play and compete against each other, and the graphics were very realistic, and it just seemed like the complete package. And it was a while till consoles caught up to that. And so, we'll see what the next VR is, probably the next step in gaming. And it seems like, both console and PC games are working on it, but we'll see. It might be something out of left field even. So, in summary, Double Dunk is just simply too complex and difficult to play. I'll play it here. Don't expect too much. Like I said, today's show is not going to be the greatest. I think the best game is the last game, but that's a PAL game, so we'll deal with that differently. So VGR did not rate this game, and my guess is that he didn't have it, so he couldn't give it a rating. Um, it was a pretty rare game. I don't know if it is now. I think I've had this for a long time, and I bought it out of new old stock. So somebody had found, like, some cases full of these games, and we're just selling them. I think super cheap, like a few dollars. And just so everyone is aware, when I buy an Atari cartridge, if it's boxed, I open it up. I'm not those collectors that want to get those pristine cartridges. I want to have the games. I want to play them. They were made to be played. They were not made to sit on a shelf. And I haven't played them for so long. I kept them packed away, kind of in a dust controlled environment, but as dust controlled as I was capable of doing. But because I haven't cleaned any of these prior to doing this, other than the ones that I've recently bought, because the ones I'm buying are just filthy. I mean, the games I'm buying from people are they're disgusting how dirty they are. I'm going through Q-tips and rubbing alcohol like you wouldn't believe. But VGR did not rate this game, so I will rate it as maybe excellent graphics, or probably a 4, but maybe a 5 for graphics. Playability is, right now, it's 2 dry brief enjoyment, maybe even 1 bad, because I can't figure it out. But it's probably a worth playing at the end of the day, when everything is said and done. So here we see the game. I'm going to turn the audio back on for that wonderful theme song. Dun, 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 okay, so what was I down on defense? Oh, I had the ball. See, he steals it so easy. I'm on offense. That's what the offense is. See, out of bounds. So easy. Now I'm on defense. Oh, I think I stole it from him. Okay, so now I'm on offense. So just he's on me like right there. And then I had the rebound, and I'm just trying to clear it, and so I got a 3-pointer off, but he stole it from behind me. I mean, I don't know if you're seeing this. He's stealing it from behind me. And you can't seem to get past him. Now, I don't know how that worked, because it says if you get a rebound, you have to clear it. But he got the rebound and went back up with it and got the points. So traveling. Or maybe because I took a shot. Now he took it back out there. And I stepped out of bounds. Oh, this is frustrating. I knew I had the ball. All right. So I'm on defense. He's just rubbing it in now. The guy's on me like glue. Jesus. Game over. Inside. So this is the nice thing. It gives you the stats from the game. Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. On the winning team. Oh yeah, there's no goaltending in this game too. So I don't know why it says jamming. I'll play another game. I'll just for. Okay, so one player, 24-point game, 3-point shots. I'm going to turn yes. 10-second clock, no, no. Fouls, no. And so I'm going to be the red team. So nice dunk. He stepped out of bounds. I didn't realize I had the ball. I stepped out of bounds. Of course, of course. Goodness. Out of bounds, because I got possession of the ball out of bounds. Oh, I just pushed the button to shoot, too. How was that not a 3? Oh, he blocked my shot. At least I'm able to shoot. That he hit a 3-pointer there. He's trying to do a Steph Curry. hurts me. If I could just get a point, I would be so happy. It's like I'm passing him the ball. I'm starting to hate this theme song. Even though I like it, it's catchy. In your face. Yeah, it was in my face. So that's Double Dunk. Again, I would not recommend getting that game unless you have a lot of time to practice. So the final game of tonight, and this is a game I opened up out of the packaging. I just bought it recently. It's Fatal Run, and it's got great artwork for the the ring light on my cameras. So it's got great cover art, and so I'm gonna put this in, even though it's a PAL game. You'll see that it does work, and I do have the cartridge. I just don't have my converter box. Oh, great! It worked earlier. Maybe that was on my 7800. I was able to get it to show up. Hopefully I didn't screw up my sound again, because this is what screwed up my sound when I was doing it before. I'm going to put in my Uno cart. I will promise you it does work. So, Fatal Run. So, put the cartridge out of the way. You saw it on my Uno cart. Now, I loaded the prototype. I did not load the PAL version. I did not realize that the PAL versions have been converted from the ROMs I had to correctly play on NTSC computers. So basically, the ROM doesn't do the output. It's the Atari 2600 that actually does it. Although the cartridges are set up a certain way. So I'm going to go to my information. Actually, I'm going to mute this since it's going to do a little pre-run. So Fatal Run is cartridge CX26162. It was released in 1990. So this was the last game Atari officially released for the 2600. And it's 32 kilobytes in size. The game is also the largest one ever released for the Atari 2600. However, it was only released in Europe, so you can't get an NTSC version of the game other than ROMs. And my converter box is not here yet, so I'm playing it off of my ROM. I live in the United States, so obviously we did not have this when I was younger, and this actually came out the year I graduated from high school. So at that point, I had even moved past the NES, and I was playing mostly PC games and maybe a little bit of the PlayStation 1. And I only have this game in PAL format, like I said, so I'm playing it for my Uno cart. And I did discover something unusual when I went to play the Uno cart using VLC Media Player on my computer. It has trouble decoding the sound from the Uno cart, unfortunately. So if you want to play these games on an Uno cart in their true form on your computer, you have to use something like OBS Studio. They're both free to download, free to use. But that's what I used to stream with, and you see here it does actually capture the sound. VLC Media Player, for some reason, couldn't decode it, and it wasn't just this game, it was other games as well. And when I put my Fatal Run cartridge in and try to run it in the VLC Media Player, it came up black, just like what you saw with OBS Studio. I want to test that again and see if my 2600 Junior does that again, because that was something I thought was a problem with the VLC media player, but maybe something is not 100% with the cartridge. It is pretty old. And then I also learned Stella can load PAL ROMs and play them with no signal issues like the cartridge give you. Now, I'm not officially endorsing this. This is something I bought. They sell them on Amazon. This little box is a USB connection, and it allows you to hook your 9-pin Atari 2600 controllers up to your computer. And I got it to see if I could play Atari 2600 ROMs on Stella using original controllers. And it turns out that this does actually work. When I plugged it in, the default is this is the left controller and this is the right controller. So it probably sits vertically like this. Think about it like it's the back of your Atari. You know, that's where the plugs are. So this is left, this is right. And when you turn it around forward, like a USB hub or something, the left is on the right and the right is on the left. And they're not really labeled. There's a little hole above the one that's the left, though. But it worked. It works to use a 2600 joystick on your computer. And I'm curious to see if I can play other games with it. Now, there's only one button, so the games can't be that complicated. But, you know, it's pretty interesting that they can make something like this, and you can play your ROMs on your computer with original hardware, you know, to simulate really playing it, even if you don't have the cartridges. And I really like that. And I may do some of that. Originally, I was going to use my 2600 Junior. You know, I'm going to be off after this week for a week or two, but I'm not officially going to be off. I'm just going to not do my regularly scheduled program. It's a lot of work to put these on, and so I was just going to take a break from doing those, and you know, maybe I'll just play some ROMs over that time, and I'll use original equipment, and you know, play against other people and things like that. It might be fun. So, where was I on this? Oh, that was it for the information. BGR also did not rate this game, and I'm guessing he did not have the game because it was pretty rare. That was actually a recent acquisition for me. So I guess someone found a bunch of them again, and they're available. But, you know, it's interesting. I won't say it's the best game I played. I won't say it's the worst. It's a pole position style game with guns. So I'm going to turn the sound back on. And we're going to go to a new game. And like I said, if you go to the resume, you can enter a code. This put me in somewhere. I don't think it did. See, now I'm damaging my car doing that. And it says to go off the road to the right side, but I didn't see any yellow diamond there. Ooh. So that's a fuel. You see my car is... Ooh, that was a yellow diamond. There's a fuel. Ugh. He destroyed me. And that's it. One life. You have one life to live. So, new game. So I'm just going to shoot him. You run out of bullets eventually. Oof. There, I took some damage. There was a diamond. There was a diamond there. Oh, there was a diamond there. So basically, you're running between cities to give there were 2 diamonds there. Create a give a vaccine. It's COVID-27. That's what we'll call this game. Ooh. I think I'm coming up on the city. Be saved E. These are the people I saved that it's counting off. Oh, that just says saved. Okay. ETAF. So maybe I can actually create my own code. ETAF go. So I still have my damage in my vehicle, so I'm probably not going to make it through the next city. We'll see how we do. That's some fuel. That was good. And when your engine gets damaged a certain amount, you're unable... Oh, hitting an oil slick killed me. Game over. It's not too bad. And like I said... Wait. Game reset. Game select. We'll just start over at the beginning. I missed the fuel. Yeah, it's some radiation thing that you're... It's like 2087 is the year. Ooh. Oh, those are the tires. So I guess when you drive through oil, your tires... These guys are out here trying to kill you to steal your vaccine because they want to have the vaccine so that they can control the world. That's what it's... Because they'll be the only people that are... Oh yeah, I hit the brakes and destroyed that guy. They'll be the only people that are immune to the virus. I saved more people that time. Fantastic time. Your speed has saved most of us. You must drive quickly. You are our only hope. Your tires are shot. You should upgrade them. Fantastic time. So where can I buy tires? Oh, so these are maybe the shops? No, that says code. I couldn't get to a shop. I know my tires are terrible. I drove through those 2 oil slicks. Ooh. I'm gonna die here because even though I have fuel, I don't have... Oh! Oh! Yep. Alright, let's try that code. ETAF. A lot of music for this game. Alright, it says game over. Does it ever go back to the original screen? Push the select button. Alright, I'm going to turn it off. Turn it back on. Alright, resume. Whew. E. T. A. F. There's no go on here. Nah. Full strength vehicle, at least. Bullets, too. You don't have the score, but you can... It probably didn't give me the store because I didn't pick up any diamonds. Because you see them go by on the right side of the road, and it says, pick them up on the right side of the road. So I think those yellow, that's bullets. So now I've damaged my engine. I don't know. I got off the road there and I didn't get one. Get some bullets at least. Oh, come on. 2 in a row. I almost feel like driving on the right side of the road. Although I know there's bushes and stuff you're gonna hit. Hey, I got one. Missed it. Now I owe it to myself to finish this run to see if I can buy anything. It's gone. Nope. Maybe I got one. Maybe there were two there. Got one. Got another one. Oh, I should have got that one. Oof. Come on, just finish the run. Got all these diamonds now. No bullets. Finish the run. Coming into the city. 7 people I saved. Well, it's better than none. You must have had troubles. Many have died. Oof. We hope that this helps. Good luck. Your car is still in pretty good shape. So how do I go to the stores? Wait, what did I do there? The T is a different color. Tires. Oh, that's where you put your money. Aha. But I don't have any bullets. Uh-oh. Audio's cutting out on me. I apologize. This will be the end of this game. You just heard it decay for me. Maybe it's that switch again. Okay, well. Maybe it's because I was playing it on a ROM, and the ROM I was playing on was a prototype. It wasn't the actual PAL game. I didn't have time to switch back to the PAL game. So that was Fatal Run. I know I ran over a little bit today. I was a little late getting started, so these games are newer. I guess they're a little more fun, so I'm taking a little more time with them. I have a feeling that's going to be the case going forward, is as I have more fun with the games, probably going to play them a little longer. So that's the episode for tonight. If you like videos like this, please follow me on Twitch. Please follow me on Twitter. Please like my videos. Please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment on Twitter or message me on Twitter. Participate in chat on Twitch. And I will be back tomorrow with 3 more games. Hopefully my copy of Xenophobe for NTSC arrives, but I'm not holding out much hope. I'll probably have that by Friday, but not today. So I might play a little more Xenophobe on Friday with the NTSC cartridge, just to be certain it works. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with 3 more games, and as always, be healthy, stay safe, wash your hands and social distance. I appreciate you watching and taking the time to check out my videos, so thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.